All right, you guys, thank you. This is new ambassador training. My name's Maria, and I'm an Emerald ambassador with Plexus. Still kind of hard to say that. It still hasn't sunk in yet. Today is part two. 2 weeks ago, we did new ambassador training, and we talked a little bit about the basics, about, joining and coming on board and how we join for wholesale, not looking to share or sell or whatever you want to call it. But today we're going to go more in depth of how to get customers, how to get ambassadors, a little bit of social media tips about how to post. Also, so if you have pen and paper, please have that on handy because there's going to be a lot of notes. I hopefully get out of here by 6:45, and then we can unmute and stop the recording, and we'll open it up for questions. Sound good? Let me first welcome you and let me tell you that this is an amazing company. Plexus has been a blessing to my family, and I'm sure to some of you, as I know. But let me tell you, Plexus has great products. It has an amazing compensation plan, so it's a great business opportunity. The products, they're great for, let me just make sure in here, everybody. The products are great for everybody. Everybody that has a gut can benefit from Plexus, right? We all have, so it helps regulate blood sugars. It helps sustain a healthy gut. And sometimes when we say healthy gut, we're like, oh, I'm healthy, all right? So that just, healthy gut just goes into like 70% of your immunity. So friends that are ill, this time of the year, reach out to them. This is about them. This is good products. Anxiety, depression, this is all for them. The business opportunity, you guys, super amazing. It's like none other. If you've been in direct sales before, now you have something to compare, like, oh my gosh, this is the best, it should be done. And there's a saying out there that says Plexus is an amazing company, and it's network marketing the way it should be done, but rarely is done. And I agree with that because there is integrity. We are led by amazing leaders, also through faith, and I'm drawn by that. We are paid 11 different ways, you guys. Our compensation plan is so wide and so unique. There's no capital, like no capacity. Like there's like, you reach the top and then you're done. No. Even your spouses can join under you. Okay, if you're familiar with other direct sales and compensation plans, you kind of get to see where I'm going, where this one you can go as wide and you don't have to stack. I don't recommend stacking, but that's a whole nother thing. Elizabeth did a comp plan video, and if you want to watch it, we can post the recording or bump it up. It's on the Team Health and Wealth page. But she goes into detail about the 11 ways we get paid. We get paid 5 times a month, weekly and once a month. So if you want to get your products paid for, or if you want to grow a significant income, this is totally for you. Okay, any level that you come in, this is for you. Know that you don't have to know everything to get started, all right? A lot of us didn't know what we were doing, but you know what? We know to share. We know what we love something, and when it works for us, we start to share. Just like you share your favorite restaurant, just like Jen, just like Jen shared her ULA right now. I shared with her, and now she's sharing with you guys because she loves it. That's part of sharing. It's what we do. With the comp plan, I want you to know that we get paid very well, especially for customers. And if they're preferred, even better, because there's bonuses and then you get paid on your total amount that you have overall in sales. But if you really, really, really want to make money, like if you want to make a significant amount of money, it's all about ranking up, and that's building and growing a team. So we'll talk a little bit about that. How do I grow a team? How do I get ambassadors on board? That's what we're going to talk about tonight, and customers too, and how to differentiate the two. Okay. Successful ambassadors in Plexus come from every walk of life, every background, everything. There's no, cookie cutter, like, okay, you're an ambassador, you're not. No, none of that. If you look here, look at all these faces here. All of you are ambassadors. All of you have the potential to reach the top, and it doesn't matter where you come from. There's no education required. So it's just come and be eager to learn and have passion for what you're doing, your products and your compensation plan, the company. And when people hear that passion and excitement in your voices, you guys are just like going to bring them in and you're going to attract that. So we're going to talk about attracting customers and attracting and building that influence on social media and also in a person as yourself. Excuse me. I need to take a couple breaths here. I get excited and I talk too fast. So we don't sell. Someone's like, oh, I'm not a good salesman. You guys, neither am I. I thought I was but I'm not. And I don't think I sell Plexus. I think I share something that's worked for me. And if it can help someone else, I share it with them, right? Especially if I know that they're battling with something or they're dealing with something or they need it, you betcha. I'm going to be that friend and I'm going to come over and I'm going to say, hey, listen to me here. I have something that might potentially help you. So I'm reaching out just with educating them, offering them. I like to say I offer hope. My job is to educate and to share. It's their job to decide whether they want to take it or not. Okay. So think about what you have could be the answer to someone's prayer, something that they've been praying for this whole time, that they're looking for something, they just don't know what. And I know some faces on here whose prayers have been answered. I know mine have been, and I didn't even know what I was really asking for, but some people pray specifically for one thing, and you have that right here in your fingertips. Okay, you don't need to know everything, like I said before. Oftentimes, I remember when I first started, I thought, oh, I need to know the products, I need to know how I'm going to earn. And Jen told me, you know what, just take your products consistently, share with your friends and family and social media, and follow up. Simple as that. And I'm like, that's simple. That is so simple. And then the comp plan, just like because it's so broad and we get paid in all these different ways, I was very confused by the comp plan. And she said, you know what, earn as you learn. And that was the best tip, the best advice I've heard, because if you start to get into depth about all this, you're going to get lost. So just do what you do, and be consistent with your products, share with those around you, and just share genuinely. And people are attracted to that. Okay, you guys, we have team pages. On these team pages, these are great for support. You have your back office, you have your upline, your sponsor, which you can ask questions to all the time. Now if you know if there's ways that we can tell you, okay, this is where you find stuff. Now you can equip your team and your ambassadors as to where to find stuff. But if sometimes you just need a quick question, reach out to your sponsor, reach out to your teammate, your sideline sister, Don't make this hard. It's not. It is totally not. Just look for answers. I remember how I grew my belief was reading testimonies and searching on the team page. And if it wasn't what I was looking for, I'd run into something else. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is useful. I'd write it down, or I'd take a screenshot and save it. So along the way, I learned more. And that's how I learned. It built my belief as to what products to recommend. And then also, how to earn and just products in general. I want you to know that success comes from being consistent. So taking your products every single day. I read a saying someone posted, or a post that someone posted, and this always sticks in the back of my head, and you guys are going to laugh. And it says, your products are like birth control. If you don't take them on a regular basis, they don't work. Whoops. Very true. So you have to be consistent. You have to take your water every single day, because your water flushes out your toxins. You got to take your pink drink every single day, just like you brush your teeth every day. Okay, if you don't brush your teeth every day, you're going to get cavities. You're going to get gross teeth, right? We don't want that. And same thing with our health. We're taking this to improve. For some people, they see results right away. For some people, it can take them 2, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, even longer. But it all matters in consistency and knowing that everybody's completely different, right? Same thing with posting. If you are wanting to share with the world, share with your friends on social media, you got to post. And successfully, by that, I mean every day, consistent, because they're watching, especially after you make that post. They're keeping an eye on you and see, okay, how long is Maria going to be posting about this? How long is she going to be taking this? And they're watching to see if you're taking it, if you're posting about it. If you don't post, it looks like, well, she fell off of it. She's probably not taking it anymore. She's not consistent, right? That's the message that I would get if somebody stops posting. No. When you're posting, think about educating, right? It's just like you're educating people. They see that first post. They may not like it or comment. A lot of people didn't like or commented on my first post. But within time, and as I started posting more on a regular basis and educating and seeing what material I was posting, we'll talk about that as well, is I was teaching them and they were sitting back and learning. And I still have people reaching out to me 2.5 years later and said, okay, I'm ready to start this. I've been following you all along. I had no idea. Okay. Sharing, also reaching out, posting on social media is so good, but sometimes you also need to reach out, especially if you see friends that are battling with, health issues, financial issues. If you see friends who can't sleep at night, friends that are looking for a third, second part-time job, reach out to them. You have something that they may potentially need, and you have it right here. Okay. Think about if they say no right away, that's okay. Don't let that crush you down. But I want you to think for a second. How did you hear about Plexus? Okay. Did you hear from word of mouth, or did you see it on social media? Okay. And if you saw it on social media, did you jump in right away? I know I didn't. And so I don't expect people to jump in right away when they see my first post, because I know I did not jump in right away when I saw my first post. Okay. It took a while. And then it built up my curiosity. And then that's when it came up in a conversation. So it's a process, and it's a process that, that people will, it's kind of like commercials. Think about when you're watching TV and you see that, I don't know why this one comes to mind, but Charmin toilet paper. You see that and it comes to mind. It pops up every now and then. You're like, oh, we need to go get toilet paper. But then you go to the store and you forget. And then you see the commercial all over again. You're like, oh, toilet paper. Now you write it down. And so after you see it constantly, you're like, I need to get this toilet paper. And you go to the store and you get it. So when you're posting on social media, you're being that reminder for someone else. Okay. So it is a process. It takes time, and people need to learn. Okay. So I know we were all skeptic. I was a skeptic. I think I watched Heather and Jen post for about 6 to 8 months, and I never asked a question. I never asked a question. I saw it being posted, but I thought it was not for us. Okay. So it is a process. And I had to ask questions in order to learn more. Okay. So be mindful of that. And it's also a timing thing. Sometimes it's just not the right timing for somebody. Maybe it wasn't just meant to be. Maybe God didn't have it in my plans to be when I needed it. I know when I joined after I moved, and I'd been seeing my friends post about it, but I still didn't think it was for me. But I moved at the time and I was on unemployment. And even though we needed the products, my husband needed the products, I needed a financial stability. I needed a job, and I was on unemployment and I was looking for a job. And I actually joined for my husband to get the bottomless or wholesale prices so I could afford his products, or we could afford his products. We were living paycheck to paycheck. We didn't think it was going to help with the things it did for his health, but it did. But it also helped us financially, where I didn't have to go back and be working 8 to 5 and finding childcare. This just was a blessing that it was timing. And I think it was timing that I didn't know really when I needed it, what I needed it, but somebody up above did. So timing is everything. People lead crazy lifestyles, busy lifestyles, right? So it's a matter of time of when they're ready and when they're ready to move forward. But we are the educators, and what we post, what we share, what we take, why you're taking it is building their belief. So keep that in mind. Okay. Another thing I want to talk to you about is take a look at your Facebook wall. Okay. Facebook is such an amazing tool, and it reaches so many people. So if you're not active on Facebook, I suggest that you start posting on there and start being active again, and look around who you're reaching out to, who's on your Facebook, friends, family, coworkers, people you went to high school with, people you went to college with. Your Facebook wall is an advertisement for you, and it's how others will approach you. So how does it work? Let me tell you. On Facebook, we share things that we like. So for example, like just a little bit ago, I'm like, who has a elderberry syrup recipe? I want to make something like that. So people will come in and comment, right? Because people want to give opinions, or if they have a recipe they want to share, they also like to share. So on my Facebook wall, I like to ask questions. I like to post pictures of my kids. I like to post pictures of food. What else? Those are my top 3 things. Always stay positive. Always, always, always. If you post something negative, guess what? It's going to attract negative people. Or they're going to be like, well, Maria's too negative. I don't think I want to go follow her anymore. Or, you know, they unfollow or whatnot. So think about yourself, you know, no drama. I try not to post any drama. I try to stay away from politics on Facebook, and I try to stay away from religion, because those are 2 very touchy subjects, and I don't want to touch any on that, because I'm just trying to keep even for all my followers, and even for myself. I think it keeps me sane, right? If I see something I don't necessarily like, I just skip over it. I don't have to like or comment. I just, you know, mind my own business and let them do their own thing. So when you're posting on social media about your family, you know, sprinkle in a little bit of plexus. Like if you're taking your pink drink, or you're out and about with your kids and you're saying, you know, mom juice, I've seen this is such a good one, or dad juice, you know, where it's like your power and keeps your blood sugars regulated. It keeps you sleeping through the night. Whatever it is, it's something so simple, could help somebody. And that's possibly what they're looking for. So make sure that it's, when you look at your Facebook wall, and I challenge you guys after tonight, go back and look at your profile and just scan through and see, what am I posting? Is it all plexus? If it's all plexus, then we need to post some pictures about us. And think of 3 things that determine who you are. 3 top things, like 3 of the things that you're most passionate about. We know one is plexus, right? But is it your kids? Is it your job? Is it your family? Perhaps you have a favorite sport to watch or to play. If you like to be outdoorsy, go hiking, that's your passion. Post about those things, sprinkle it in, and then every now and then throw in a plexus post. But that plexus post, let it be educational. People buy why you are taking it. Try not to be salesy, okay? Because obviously we know when there's something sales, and we see when friends are selling stuff, that's salesy. But when I start to share about, you know, why I love this pink drink, oh my gosh, I'm sleeping like a rock right now, even with almost 7 months pregnant, and I'm sleeping. I love my plexus, let me tell you. But some people have problems with sleeping, like, oh my gosh, so Maria's taking it because she doesn't sleep well, or she sleeps well, sorry. I need to sleep well, so that might draw them in, okay? So take a look back at your social media, and let's keep about 80% of your personal posts, and about 20% plexus post. So let's say out of 3 posts that you do a day, 2 of them can be personal posts, and 1 of them can be a plexus post. See? So it's not just plexus. And if you haven't started posting about plexus, start posting about yourself, what things you like, okay? Don't copy and share. Sorry, don't share. I mean, do copy and paste, but make sure that you use your own wording. But if you see a post that you're like, oh, I want to share this, don't just click share, because you're giving that person credit. You're not building your credibility. So make sure that if you see something out there that you really, really, really like, you can copy it, save the picture, but make sure you put in your words to make it sound like it's coming from you. Okay, because people know you, they know your style, they know your language, and so just be mindful of that. Another thing is, people buy from people they trust and from people they like. So if you're likable, they're most likely going to come to you. If you're trusted, if they trust you, they're going to ask you. They're going to come to you. Okay, I'm pretty sure that your audience knows quite a few people that share plexus, okay, on in person, in Facebook, and whatnot. And think about, who are they going to go to? Who would you go to? Are you going to go to somebody who is negative and starts posting things like, you know, maybe they like to say bad words on Facebook, or they're always talking about one politic or one thing or another, you know? Those things don't appeal to me. So you want to be positive. You want to provide motivation. You want to be healthy minded. You guys, we are a plexus company, and plexus, you know, we're like the health and happiness company. So, you know, be healthy. You know, stand up for health, for being happy all this time. Okay, all these, when you're happy, you're engaging others to come join you and be happy with you. They want to follow you. They want to be a part of you. Like, oh my gosh, Maria, Jen, Nana, you guys are all so, I just want to be a part of you. So they want to follow you and they want to be a part of you. Okay. Are you knowledgeable? Okay. And this is a question. Now, you don't have to know everything about plexus, but if you don't know the answers, you guys, that's okay. Okay, we're going to talk about how to lead into a three-way message with your upline or your sponsor and talk about these products. And you can just say, hey, I'm pretty brand new here. Let me put you on a three-way message with my friend, my sponsor, my friend, Susie, who can help us answer your questions. Okay, walk the talk, walk the walk, walk the talk. So be a product of the product. Okay, you can talk all about the products. But if you're on them, then you can talk from experience. Like, oh, I love BioCleanse because it helps, get rid of the side aches, when I run. Or I love the X Factor Plus because I can tell a difference in my mood or my nails, my hair. Or I love Omega X because it helps me sleep through the night. Whatever it is, you know what these products do from personal experience. Excuse me. Be consistent and be patient, okay? So how you build your business is completely on you. All right. We have all the same tools, but somebody else might go faster or slower than you. So never, 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 never compare. It's just how fast you talk to people, how often you follow up with them. And if things aren't happening right away, you're still teaching and educating. It's a process. And when that process, I like to think of it as a seed. So when you're educating, you're posting on social media, you're planting little seeds. And every day that you're sharing, you're watering those seeds. If you're reaching out to somebody specifically and building their belief, sending them a diamond documentary if they're interested in the business, or sending them a testimony if they're looking for health, you're watering that seed. And when that seed is ready to sprout, that's when they're ready to come in, whether it's as a customer or an ambassador. And we'll talk a little bit about that as we go over. Okay, your approach needs to be natural, not salesy, okay? Because people are not drawn to salesy stuff. I mean, think about, they're seeing people sell stuff on Facebook all the time. There's so many companies out there that are selling makeup, other health products, house stuff, house decor, candles, you name it. Everybody's selling something, I feel like. So your approach needs to be very natural. And when you come across somebody and you're sharing, I think like we talked about before, they are sold on your why. They don't want to know why you're taking it, not what it's, like not all this other stuff. Sometimes you do. You have people that are driven and they want to know exactly, how it works and whatnot. But some people want to know, does it work? And bottom line, that's it. Okay. So by natural, I mean, be you. Don't live it up or hype it up to be something that you're not. Make sure that when you're sharing with something, it matches what you're posting on social media, your ideas, that if you're copying and pasting from others, remember to change the wording so it looks like it's coming from you. I see friends that post lengthy posts about a product. You guys, I'm not a writer. I can't. I look at that, I'm like, there's no way that people are going to think I wrote that. And if I post that, they're going to be like, oh, well, Maria's a good writer. I'm not a good writer. I like short and sweet. And I think that is what works best is if I tell somebody, I like the pink drink because it helps curb my cravings. I no longer crave candy. I'm no longer buying it in bulks like I used to. To me, I'm more comfortable sharing that than, oh my gosh, it's the chromium. It helps regulate your blood sugars, and that's why you're not craving sweets. Okay, some people just want to know, is it working? So make it your own, okay, your own words, your own photos, your own lingo. If you're posting on social media, let's see what I have here. I have a bottle of Block. Sometimes if you just post a bottle of Block, like on a nightstand or something, we see that. Yeah, those get drawn. But if I was to post a selfie with my Block, they'd be like, oh, she's got something in her teeth. Let's go see what's in it and zoom in. And that might draw them in to read my post about why I like Block. So just be you. Be creative. The best posts are personal, from your own personal experience. And they're the ones that you can actually dispute. I know I've shared something on Facebook before and I didn't know the backup to it. So then I went to go back and research all this so I could help answer questions. So sometimes that can happen. And if it ever happens to you, just make sure you reach out to your sponsor, your upline. You're like, oh my gosh, how do I answer this? You can take a screenshot and share, and we can find ways, because we've all been there and done that. People will ask more questions, and sometimes they ask questions that are way beyond my green mind. I'm not green. I don't know much about how ingredients work or whatnot, but be mindful of what you can post and if you can back it up and if you're comfortable posting about that, okay? Your energy and how positive you are is what drives people to build, to build that relationship with you, okay? Tell stories. I know I still struggle with that. Like you said, I'm not a writer, but usually what I do, I grab my phone and I voice dictate, because when I'm telling a story, I'm not usually writing it. I'm usually speaking it to somebody. So I'll go into my notes and I turn my microphone and I'll just pretend like I'm telling a story to no one. And then I record it, stop it, and then I go back in and edit it. Stories sell. So think about who you like to follow that shares, on their life, and they can go into detail, but every now and then they're going to share something about why they love Plexus, why they love the company, why they love the product, or something about that. There's an ambassador. Let's see, there's a couple ambassadors, and I can share this in the recording, the notes of who they are that you can kind of follow. Brianne Coolidge is one of my favorites. And we had a training, if you went to Super Saturday last year, and I can't remember her name. I just slipped. But Kendra, she did a piece on storytelling and how people are engaged. So when you're telling a story, people actually read, and then they start to picture things, right? Just like when you hear somebody tell a story, you start to envision it and you start to really get into the story. Stories sell. Okay. Another thing, in person. So we talked about posting on social media, but now think about in person. People see that you're posting on social media. So when they see you face to face, they're gonna be like, so they're gonna be watching you to see, if you're drinking your pink drink, if you get your block out, if you're having dinner or dessert or something, they will listen to you. So ask good questions to them. So when you're talking, let's say, for example, this weekend we were with family. Okay. Listen to what they're saying. Okay. Sometimes we get so stuck and put into our cell phones and social media that when we're actually surrounded by people, like during the holidays, birthdays, Sunday gatherings, whatever it is, we forget to engage with those loved ones that we have. So my advice is listen. What are they telling you? And they might tell you that, or you might even see in their body language that, oh my gosh, she looks like she could potentially be depressed. Or ask questions. Are they giving you hints? Do they look like, I shouldn't say do they look like, but are they telling you that they lack sleep? Are they addicted to Pepsi? Maybe they're just popping a can of Pepsi or pop of a can of pop. Maybe they're just eating sweets constantly, and you see that. Maybe in a conversation, I know some moms, we like to get together with other moms and do play dates. Maybe they're hinting you that they want to be a stay-at-home mom, or maybe they're hinting you that, I wish I could, bring in an income, or maybe I wish I could have the money to buy my child this. So those are all little hints. And then you can kind of ease into it and say, have you heard of Plexus? You want them to ask, and maybe they've been following you. Or you could say, you know what? You could do the feel, felt, found method, and you could say, my gosh, we used to live paycheck to paycheck, and I wanted to put my kids in soccer or ballet, but we couldn't afford it. But along came this, and as skeptic as I was, I started to take the products. They worked for me, and I recommended them to my friends and family, and it worked for them. It built my belief. I started sharing, and then I got my products paid for. And then I shared some more, and then I made an income. Then I was able to cancel my unemployment. Now we have residual income. So you can kind of lead, wherever your story is, even if you're getting your products paid for. If you're not there yet, make sure you reach or use somebody else's testimony that you can connect to, or they could connect to. Actually, they could connect to. So empower them and share with them, because this is something that they're looking for, and you have the means to help. Okay. Share everywhere you go. It sharpens your skills. You guys, if you guys have like water bottles, or, this one says Plexus. I take this with me. I mean, this one's new, but I'll take a Plexus water bottle with me. If I have a hat, I put on my Plexus hat. If I am, at the library or somewhere and I can have a drink, I'll mix my pink drink in there, start shaking. If I'm in the grocery line and if I have one there, I just drink it. And chances are they might ask. I know Elizabeth has shared that, the clerk at, Walmart or somewhere asked her, she's like, so does that Plexus, what is Plexus? I see a lot of people here with it. So it led to a conversation. So if you have hats, shirts, water bottles, anything, Plexus swag is so good, and it's such a good investment for your business. And remember, anything that you buy for your business is a tax write-off, okay? If you have business cards, those are good too. Hand them one out. But the thing is, with business cards, you want to get something back from them, because I feel like when I give them a business card, I'm practically giving the ball to them. And I want to have the ball, right? I want to have the ball in my court. I want to make sure that I have control over this and I can actually give them a call, because chances are, and actually most of the times that I've given them a business card, they don't call, okay? So what I do, I have my Facebook here, my phone, and I say, hey, are you on Facebook? Chances are they are. And I said, can I add you? And I'll send you a personal message. I'll send you my information, and I'll send you whatever the conversation led to. So what I do, I open up my Facebook and I tell them to plug themselves in, because sometimes it's happened so fast and I get their names written wrong. So I tell them to type their names in there. And then what I do before I add them as a friend or whatnot, I take a screenshot. And then I know to come back and follow up. So my thing is, I'm careful about who I add as a friend. But before I add them, I send them a message. I'm like, hi, I'm Maria. I'm the gal that you met at the line at Walmart, and we started talking about this. And so then I ask questions like, what are your health goals? So I take that initiative to message them, and I have their contact information basically on Facebook, because everybody nowadays is on social media. Okay, if you have brochures on hand and you have your name on them and phone number, those are great. If you have samples with you, catalogs, those are all great tools to use, okay? One of the greatest things that I've done is set up a booth or a table. If you know that there's like a health fair, maybe the church can help you, will let you put up a table. Maybe there's, like during the holidays, there's these arts and crafts and bazaars and whatnot. Set up a table. People are looking for products too, not just handmade stuff, right? So that's just opportunity for you to share, have a display. And you can, if you've never done this before, talk to your upline, and we can share pictures with you of what people have done in the past. And you can post a display of your triplex. Maybe if you have your success kit on hand, you can post that out there. The gym is also a good place. Health fairs, we mentioned that. Let's see, like kids activities, like sporting events. That's also another good place. Bridal shows, I know those are happening this time of the year. So just educate and add people on Facebook. That's the greatest thing. There's these little not cheat sheets, but there's these little sheets that I have, and you can print these out. But it's enter for a chance to win something. People always like to win something. Remember when you go to the fair and there's all these people like, oh, win this basket or win that. So we go and sign up and whatnot. You can give them away a water bottle. You can give them a 7-day challenge, a slim challenge, or whatever it is. And they just basically enter their information here, and you ask a couple questions. So when I do a table, that's what I'm going for. I'm not looking to sell something right then and there. I'm looking for connections. I'm looking for contacts. I'm looking for these little guys right here, because once I have their information, I can call them. If they put their phone number in, they've given me permission to call them. If they put their email address in there, they've given me permission to email them, basically, right? Now I just need to follow up. So that's 50% of the job when you do a table or a booth. The other 50% is follow up. So this is what we're going for when we have tables and booths. So good. Sip and Sees. Oh my gosh, you guys, Sip and Sees are so fun. One thing I like about Plexus is that we don't need to have parties. I don't like throwing parties because I feel like I have to sell people, or I have to like drag them in, like, would you please come? Would you please come? No. Sip and Sees are very, very fun, because what I like about that is more educating. I like to educate on how our products work to regulate blood sugars and stabilize blood sugars, reduce inflammation, and then explain to them what gut health is. Some people think that gut health is just digestion issues when it's not. So I like to empower and to educate. And then also to come taste the pink drink. Sometimes I even say, you know what, leave your wallets at home. If you feel comfortable saying that, people feel more comfortable knowing that they can come to this and that they're not going to feel obligated to buy. But what I have is I have a seating audience that I can pour into my belief, my passion. They're going to hear my voice. They're going to hear or see my body language and how, if I get emotional, if I start to cry, those kinds of things. That is what they get to see when they come to a Sip and See. And I'll share with them the triplex and the X Factor multivitamin. And then I also share the business opportunity. So I don't go into detail with all the products. So we have 18 products. And if I was to go and talk about all 18 products, that would take the whole time. So I share about just the main 4 and then the business opportunity. Overall, I want you to look at yourself and think, what do I need to learn? Where do I need to gain more knowledge in? Grow yourself every single day. Read testimonies. Go on the team pages. Scroll to see what you find. I signed up for wholesale. I was not looking for the business. But what sold me was that I was added to a team page. And on that team page, I saw community. I saw support. And I saw people achieving great things and being recognized. And that is what sold me. I saw people having 500 PV and being recognized for it, or a shout out for having 300 PV. And I was like, hey, I want to get a shout out too. So that is what drove me, because I think we all strive for that, and involvement in community. That's what I loved. So think about how this can grow you as a person. I think that's the most I've got out of myself from this, is that, the products have done amazing things for my family. My mom, my husband, myself. The compensation plan, my gosh, I can go on about that too. But overall, it's personal growth. I didn't think I could be leading a team call here like this tonight, or I didn't know that I could have a team of over 1,000 people on my team. Never in a million years. No, but it's personal growth. And that to me it's invaluable. And it comes in every aspect, things that you can put into your day-to-day life, your mom, your spouse, everything, your kids. That's what I meant to say. So when people start asking, let's go into the nitty-gritty now. What do I say when people start asking me about plexus? I freaked out when the first time that somebody asked me about plexus. I'm like, oh my gosh. So what I did, don't do this. Don't go and tell them everything you know about plexus. Don't do that. That's, we used to call it vomiting. Don't vomit plexus all over them. They want to know how much it is and what's plexus. So I used to say, oh my gosh, this is what it does, and I'd send them a big paragraph. And next thing you know, I saw they opened the message, and then I'm like, so do you want to know more information? And it just kind of stopped there. And now I've learned that the less you say is the most that you will say. So I will ask questions. If somebody says, what is plexus, or can you give me more information? I think they expect you to mail them something, or, send them some email or whatnot. I just ask them, what are your health goals? What are your goals in life? Primarily health goals, but if, what are your goals? So based on that is where I take the conversation and make it about them. That question mark at the end, what are your health goals, leaves the ball in their court. They know how to come back to me and answer. Tell me what their health goals are. Now they're telling me, okay, well, I want to drop weight. Let me tell you something. When they tell me they want to drop weight, I used to just say, oh my gosh, take Slim and Accelerator. That's it. No. You guys, there's so many things that factor weight loss, right? And weight gain. So now I ask questions like, okay, how do you sleep through the night? Because sleep is a big one. And then they'll tell me, and they'll be like, well, I don't sleep well. Okay, well, that's an issue. So then I write sleep issues. How's your energy throughout the day? And if they tell me, well, I hit the wall around 3 o'clock, or I'm drinking 4 cups of coffee every day to get me going through the day. Now I know that energy is an issue too. So now I write energy and sleep. Then I ask them about what their cravings are like throughout the day. Do they have any cravings? Because sometimes I know when I struggled with weight, it was cravings. I craved sweets all the time. And even though I looked at sugar with 0 fat, I thought, oh, it's 0 fat. I'll take it. I'll eat it. That's why I ate candy by the bags. But I didn't know that glucose converts into fat. So that's where Plexus can come in and help too. So cravings. Another one is if they have any hormonal imbalance. As a woman, even men, if there's any hormonal imbalance, that could also lead to weight gain. Are they on medication? That one is a big one. And they'll tell me, yes, I'm on this, or no, I'm not. But if they're telling me that they're on medication for a certain thing, then that leads into, oh, maybe they have a thyroid issue, they have cholesterol, they have blood sugars, diabetic. It leads into a whole nother world, right? So I also will ask if they have digestion issues. And some people will say, yes, I'm constipated, I can't go to the bathroom, or I have IBS, or I have Crohn's, whatever it is. So those questions, those key questions can lead to so many more things and issues that Plexus can help with. So ask questions, make it about them. And then that takes up a whole conversation of how Plexus can help them. And see, now I'm not just telling them all about what Plexus is in overall nutshell, it's based about them. So those are some key questions, because people will come to you for weight loss. And the thing is, people can lose 10 pounds, but that is not going to change their life. Okay. When people get off medication, when people don't have migraines, when people can sleep through the night, when people are, they're balanced out, that is life-changing. So to me, that is much more significant than losing 10 pounds of weight or 10 pounds, right? So I ask those questions, and I ask them, and it just opens up more conversation. And if you don't feel comfortable doing that, put them in a 3-way message with your sponsor. Okay. So those are key things. And then tell them, you know what? Thank you for reaching out to me. Like, I appreciate you reaching out to me. Make it about them, and also thank them that they came to you and trusted you to ask these questions. Plexus is a gut health company, so encourage them to research gut health. And if they say, I have, let's say, example, my husband suffered from hypothyroidism. So if they tell me they have a thyroid issue, I will tell them, Google gut health and thyroid, or hypothyroidism, or whichever it is. Google that, and you're going to see a list of Google that link these articles that link the 2 and 2 together. See, I didn't know about that until it helped my husband, and his blood work came back great. That's when I did the research. See, I work backwards. And I was like, oh my gosh, there's everything here I needed to know. So encourage them to look it up, and that also helps build their belief in the products. You can send them articles, you can send them testimonies. You guys, we have the Inside Scoop group on health and wellness, and that is for all of you to use. You can add your potentials, your customers, your ambassadors. Just make sure that you ask for permission before you add them. And that is it's like a third-party validation page, and they can search for testimonies on there. You can tag them if that's okay, and take it from there, okay? One other thing is cost. They're going to ask you, what do products cost? Like, how much are they? And you may not know that right away, but if you have your success kit right away, you can kind of look through your flip cards, and you can say, oh, this is how much it costs. If you have that catalog, it also has prices on there. But I don't give them the price right away. I also don't give them my website right away. I tell them it depends on their goals and what they're looking for. Also, if they're willing to share, then I might move them somewhere else, okay, as a customer or ambassador. And just a few weeks ago, or last week, we posted a graphic on Team Health and Wealth that said customer ambassador. If they want like 2 products, they're best as a customer, and we'll talk a little bit about that. They remember that they come to you because you're the expert on the products. So listen, be confident, and give them a list of choices and options. All right, because sometimes they don't know exactly really what they want, and sometimes we really don't know what to give them. So give them options, and that way they can make the decision to go best with. three-way messages are fantastic to find these out. Okay. And then follow up. Keep following up because they're not going to be sold right away. You might have people that are sold right away within the first or second day or follow up, but you're going to have people that that need more information and more follow up. And you following up, you're not bugging them. You're just being that friend and asking them if this is something they, they have questions. Sometimes they get busy. They have school, they have kids and sports, they work Monday through Friday. That stuff comes out. Now, these are the objections that can come up. The price, the ingredients, and also that they're researching other companies. So if somebody tells me, well, I can't afford it, it's too much, you guys, you can say something like the feel, felt, found method. And I would say, I used to feel the same way because we live paycheck to paycheck and there was no way that I could afford these products. But, we started with the triplex. And from that triplex, I noticed that my cravings for coffee were gone. So I went from 4 cups of coffee to 1 cup of coffee. So I was spending less on coffee. I was spending less on eating out, and I was spending less on candy and junk. So that money that would have been spending on those kinds of things now went to my triplex, and I feel so much better than I did when I was taking all the other junk. So the feel, felt, found method is very important, and you can use that because I'm sure we've all felt one way or another. If they're looking for other companies, you guys, we looked at another company before we joined Plexus, and I told my husband, we can't afford that. So when somebody tells me they're looking into another company, I said, you know what, look in the ingredients, and then also, because people will research Plexus. Don't just research Plexus. Research the ingredients and tell them. Send them a list. Okay, this is what brown seaweed is really good for. Send them a little blob or a little paragraph on what it's good for. The triplex, people look at plexus and just consider it done. No, send them what chromium can do for them and alpha lipoic acid. And I will guarantee you they will be blown away. So the feel, felt, found method is really good. And if you want more ideas as to how to use that, contact your sponsor, your upline. A couple more things and we'll wrap up here because we're getting close to an hour. Customer versus ambassador. Remember that graphic that we talked about? So someone comes to you and you're like, okay, sign them up, put them as a customer, put them as an ambassador. How do we choose which one? Okay, first of all, we need to determine what they need for their goals, right? If they're looking to, maybe they're going through a little anxiety, depression, they can't sleep through the night, they have cravings, and they want to lose a little bit of weight, I'm going to put them with a triplex, okay? So that's what I would encourage them. So if they order the triplex and I want commitment from them for at least 3 months, I will put them as an ambassador. I will say, you would fall under this category. Now they say, I don't want to spend that much. I think I just want Slim and ProBio. Those are 2 products, less than 100 PV. So in that case, I'm going to put them as a preferred customer. And then we're going to bump up that graphic on the Team Health and Wealth page. So if it's like Slim and one other product, I will put them as a preferred customer. Okay, until they're ready to move on. So if they take Slim and 2 products, most likely that will hit the 100 PV. And again, asking for commitment. If they tell you that they just want to try this for 1 month, put them as a customer. You can always upgrade them to an ambassador. And here's another key thing to remember, that after they order for 3 months as a customer, preferred customer, they get a discount. They get wholesale discount on the 4th month. So if they're not ready for that commitment, put them as a preferred customer. You still get a good balanced business. You still get the bonuses and you still get paid on that PV. So you're still getting good money versus signing them as a preferred customer. When they're ready, and I liked what Sheila Medina said in Vancouver, if you were there. She said, honey, if you're not ready to share, I'm going to put you as a customer. Okay, so if they're ready to share, if they're like, okay, I want to tell the world about these products, and they're taking the triplex at least 100 PV, you can put them up as an ambassador, right? Because they're going to share with other people. So just remember to ask questions, be intentional, ask them if they're interested in the business. And if also what commitment, ask for commitment. When somebody tells me they want to try these products, I tell them, you got to give it 3 months. And if they're not ready for that, I put them as a customer. Okay. Couple more things here. So a new customer, what happens when I have a new customer? Okay. And what happens when I get a new ambassador? So let's say I put them as a new customer. I'm going to send them a thank you card. Okay, thank you cards come a long ways. How many of you guys like getting snail mail and instead of bills, right? A little card in the mail looks really nice. So it's a handwritten thank you, and it usually just says, thank you for trusting me. I'm excited to follow your journey on Plexus, and I'm going to be reaching out to you every so often. I will usually email them with a list of directions, and it comes in an email form because I want them to have it there. Some people send graphics, but sometimes my graphics get lost in my phone and I can't find it. Messenger works great, but to me, I prefer email. So find something that works for you and works for them, and that you have a system. Every time you have a new customer and a new ambassador, follow this system. Follow up with them within the first day once they get their products, and then every few days through the first month. And then after that, follow up every month. Okay, a lot of the times they don't come and ask you questions, so we have to come in and ask questions. And I think that's one of the key things that we stand apart from other companies and other supplement companies, is that we follow up. Customer service. Remember the last time we went to a restaurant and that waitress was so good, and they offered you water every time. They asked if they could bring you more chips and more salsa. You're like, oh man, she's really good. Yes, customer service goes a long way. So be that good customer service to your new ambassador and your new customer. Follow up with them. You're their health coach. And that's what I tell them. When somebody comes and purchases it through me, I'm like, you know what? I am going to coach you through this. It's not like, here, buy your products and we'll see you later. No, it's none of that. And I think that's what people are used to. So when they see that you truly care by reaching out to them, hey, how are you doing? Did you drink your water? Did you take your measurements? They're like, okay, Maria really wants to see this. She cares about me and she wants to follow up on me. That's genuine. Okay. If you have a new ambassador, I give them 2 emails. One is a welcome email, how to take their products. And then the other one is for the business. Like, I will share the compensation plan. I will share the ways to earn. And then I add them to team pages. Your new customer, you also add them to the Inside Scoop page. But your new ambassadors, you also say, you know what, I'm going to add you to my team page and then our big team page. So it can be your uplines page and then Team Health and Wealth, and then the Inside Scoop group with Plexus and Health. And then do a welcome. Do a little graphic and welcome them in the assigned spot for that page. If it's the Team Health and Wealth, there's a little graphic that says welcome January new ambassadors. Welcome them there. And then get plugged in with them. Don't just assume that they're going to take off. I think sometimes we are so far advanced that we forget when we first started, we needed to be handheld. So reach out to your new customer, your new ambassador, and Zoom with them and get to ask what their goals are. They have health goals, but they also might have business goals. We have new onboarding tools now from Super Saturday. In your back office, in your Plexus account, we have Rank Up Roadmap. The Success Guide is online, and we also now, it comes in their welcome pack. We have team trainings every Tuesday at 6 p.m. There's YouTube videos, and there's Diamond documentaries, all to help them teach and educate and empower them. And remember where they're at and meet them where they're at. Ask them about their routine too. How are you doing on your products? So when a new ambassador comes, you're asking them about their routine, how they're doing on the products, and then getting them plugged in. Okay? Growing a business is different for everybody. So just make sure that we know this, because I know sometimes I forget and I'm like, oh, she's going to do the business. She's going to share. She's going to take right on off. And then I forget to follow up. Everybody's unique and they have different goals. So just meet them where they're at and get them plugged in. Excuse me. You don't have to be salesy. Just remember a couple key things to remember. Don't be salesy, and don't spam people. Don't spam your Facebook wall where it just looks like Plexus, 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 Plexus. Just sprinkle it in. You can cold message people. You don't have to. If you're like that, I know people that will cold message, and cold message means I'm just going to send a message like out of blue to this person. You can. If that's not your style, then don't do it. If you like to more genuinely share, like sharing why you love the products, why you're taking it, or if you see that they're posting on social media that they can't sleep, or you know, that they have something that you know Plexus could help with, and you can reach out more genuinely. If that's your style, by all means, I think they would appreciate that much more. Okay. I've gotten some cold messages from other people, and I'm like, ooh, that's really salesy. Like, I could not do that. So just watch and listen. Watch and listen to what they're sharing on Facebook or what they're telling you in person. Okay. Be bold. If you're in person, be bold. You guys have something that could totally change someone's life, like literally the products, the compensation plan. Don't be shy about it. Here's something that I heard and forever stuck in my mind. Our closed mouth means that we have our closed business. Word of mouth is great, you guys. So if you're sharing about your products, your company, why you love Plexus, that's an open business. If we're not sharing, it's like we have a closed door and our business has a closed sign. Think about that for a second. If you're not sharing, chances are that your friends are going to join under someone else because they see somebody more engaged, posting more on a regular basis. So they're going to go with who they see more engaged and more into it. So actually, it's happened to me, and it didn't feel good when I saw my friend join under someone else. I'm like, oh, but she could have joined under me. But then I'm like, Maria, you didn't reach out to her. So there you are. So that was my lesson learned. So be consistent in your products, be consistent in sharing with people daily, and be patient. Okay. Some people grow faster than others, and that's okay. And some people, it just takes a little bit longer. You guys, it took me a long time to go silver. Okay, so, and some people it's taken them less. That's fine. Just don't compare. Don't compare. Do your IPA, we call it income producing activities, every day, where you're posting on social media, you take your products every day, and you're following up with people. We have IPA journals, which mine is in my bag. We just got back from Yakima, so it's in the bag. But you can also just have, we have the action stack on the team page. Elizabeth just did a training about that on Wednesday. But I have these little notepads, and I use these. And this is, you can't see it, but it says January 2018. So this is my January one. So here I'll post all my notes, my list of people. I'm always adding people who I need to reach out to. You can do this. I mean, everybody can do this. This is a business that anybody can do. It's just at your own time, your own pace, and how fast you want to go. If you want to work this as a hobby, you're going to get hobby money. If you work this as a business and you reach out more, you're going to get more compensated for it. There's a saying that the top people in our company, the diamonds, they just have talked to more people than we have. Perhaps they've gotten more no's than we have. And that's okay. As you go, you're going to see that a no's are not going to bother you. So just know that you are in the right company, in the right place at the right time. People need these products. People are looking for answers. People are praying. They're going to bed at night, looking for ways to sleep. They're looking for, to get out of debt. They're looking for so many things that they just don't know where to look. You could be the answer to their prayers if you reach out to them. Okay. That's what I have for tonight.